Ladies and gentlemen, it is day 21 of my 31 days of Halloween. We are in the final stretch here, the last 10 days, and we're going to start getting into some juicy films. Today's review is Evil Dead, not The Evil Dead, 2013's Evil Dead remake. Here we go. Evil Dead was released in 2013. Five friends head to a remote cabin where the discovery of a Book of the Dead leads them to unwittingly summon up demons living in the nearby woods. I'm gonna be honest, apart from 2017's It, Chapter 1, not Chapter 2, because I don't know what happened in Chapter 2. But apart from the first chapter of the It remake, I think this is my favorite remake ever made. I don't think anybody expected this remake to be so different and good, but I'm glad they did not just copy and paste from the original in the 80s. Same premise, basically, group of friends in the cabin, but this time there's a reason for all of these people assembling at the cabin. It's not just random, it's not, oh, let's go camping. There's an intention here, and it carries throughout. The original from 1981 is perfect in its own sense, but this version ups the scares and it ups the gore factor. The practical effects are on a 10 this whole movie. You can tell that the effects team definitely got creative with some of the scenes in here. I'm not exaggerating, and I've seen a lot of movies. This is the bloodiest movie I've ever seen. I think the final 20 minutes, with the exception of maybe 4 or 5 minutes, it's completely red. Everything is soaked in blood. I'm not being dramatic, I'm not exaggerating. Everything is covered in blood. It's raining blood. Am I getting this point across to you? Do you know what you're going to be in for? One way this improves from the original, like I mentioned before, is it actually adds some substance to the story. Jane Levy and Shiloh Fernandez are fantastic as the two leads in this, but Jane Levy, I think, yeah, this was my introduction to her before I saw Don't Breathe. She fucking rules in this movie. You talk about an actress covering the spectrum of emotion. She fucked from beginning to end, just hits every note. They do play siblings in this, and their chemistry is really effective on screen. Outside of those two, the rest of the cast provides enough to where they're not just filler characters. But there is one of them who takes more abuse than I have seen through a feature film. This man should have been dead in the first act. He lives to the third act. And just when you think he's taken enough, guess what? You're right, there's more. The camera work in this is really great. There's a lot of shots where it's just traversing a landscape really quickly, and there's a lot of zoom shots and things of that nature. Given how frantic and fast-paced this movie is, the camera work really bodes well for that. Evil Dead is crafty, it's creative, it's violent as hell. It's more than worthy of the vision that Sam Raimi created in the 80s. This movie is streaming for free on Tubi and Hulu. And also, if you have Amazon Prime, you can rent it for $2.99, but that is about it for watching options. Speaking of watching options, I appreciate you considering me one of your watch options. Why don't you hop back here tomorrow for day 22, and I'll give you another movie to watch. Cool? Cool. I'll see y'all then. Peace.